Just like many people, I fell into the hustle culture trap.
And then just work like hell. I mean, you just have to put in, 80 to 100 hour weeks every week.
This does not work. And in fact, it made me way less productive than I could have been. But eventually, I basically figured out how to spend all my day productively without burning out. And the secret is to not try to work as much as possible. That's a terrible idea. And in this video, I'll give you a more realistic alternative that can actually beat the hustle culture people, even in terms of productivity. Now, hustle culture is completely unrealistic. I listen to Musk. I listen to all these guys, entrepreneurs, telling me to do 80 hours plus a week. And guess what? I failed. I did it for a short while, but I just completely burned out. And when I burn out, I just do things like procrastinate and watch videos for 8 hours. And so I thought, something is wrong with me. I must be lazy. How can I not spend 10 hours a day doing creative work on a video and then 4 hours a day creating a business product? How could I not? And this led to further anxiety and eventually just procrastination. I always procrastinate if I push myself too hard. And that's normal. When you push yourself too hard, the absolute opposite of work happens. You start wasting time. See, the 80-hour work week might work for somebody like Elon Musk, who's been working for many years and he's obsessed over what he does. But it's completely unsustainable for a beginner. The ability to work is a skill in and of itself. Like productivity, discipline, that's a skill, just like weightlifting, for example. So if you start trying to weightlift 100 kilos at once, at the start, it won't happen. The fucking bar will fall on your face and you'll die. Well, the same happens with work. If you try to work 80 hours a week or 60 hours a week at the start, you'll not be able to sustain it for too long. You'll burn out. So you can actually hustle and work a lot of hours like Elon Musk. That's possible, but only after already having worked for years and built up that skill and already seeing a lot of results and already you're loving your work. That's the only way. These are the prerequisites that I don't have yet and most people don't have as well. I strive for myself to have a great work ethic like Elon Musk. I want that work ethic. I'm jealous of that. But trying that right now for me is completely unrealistic. These prerequisites can only be developed through practice. This skill is developed through practice. But if you push yourself right now too hard to hustle and work all the time, you will end up procrastinating and not, in fact, practicing the skill, doing the opposite, losing the skill. So we need a more realistic and productive routine that we can actually stick to. Join the community of guys who are currently improving, and I can help you be more productive and find your purpose and develop this skill and know that it's free. So let's go through my daily routine, task by tasks, and I will explain why each task is there. And I think this is maybe a realistic routine. So we start with waking up after 7 hours and 45 minutes of sleep. Sleep is essential to a good routine. If you don't have minimum 7 hours, but even that's low, you will not be productive. So if you're falling asleep in the middle of the day, if you struggle with creative work, if you struggle to focus, sleep could definitely be the problem, especially if it's less than 7 hours or less than 8 hours. So my first and foremost recommendation is to figure out the exact hours to go to sleep and wake up. Consistent hours, the same hours every day, okay? When you have concrete hours, your body's rhythm and hormones and chemicals and all that adjust, and that way your life is much easier. You fall asleep immediately, you wake up immediately, and you're not sleepy throughout the day, but only with consistent hours. And there is no wake-up routine besides dress up, fix up and drink some water. That's all my morning routine. I think morning routines are a complete waste of time. Now the next task is deep work on YouTube for the next 2 hours. I am most creative in the morning, so that's the reason immediately after I wake up, I do some work. I make sure to, maintain very firm focus when working. I allow no distractions. And I have this 90% rule. So basically this means that when I sit down to work, I have to be 90% focused, and for 2 hours that means I have to be focused for 1 hour and 48 minutes of that time. And I track this with a timer, which is on right now. And you know, even if I go to the toilet or get up for any reason or get distracted in my chair or on my computer, I stop the timer. Every second counts, and I have to be focused every second. Now, because I have to maintain this 90% focus and I have that pressure, I start immediately work and I don't procrastinate because I don't have time to procrastinate. In 2 hours, I have to have done 1 hour and 48 minutes of work. So I don't have time. Now, the next task is meditation and journaling. So I meditate for 50 minutes daily because I have an extremely distracted mind, and if I don't meditate, I just get distracted easily and I'm incapable of focusing on work. So just to be capable to focus on my work, I need to meditate daily. And also I gratitude journal in this period. This is important for my mental health. Naturally, I have very negative thoughts and my mental health just slowly goes down without this habit. So in this half an hour, I make sure to appreciate my life and even write positive affirmations. And I know this sounds feminine, but it's really one of the most productive tasks I do, because when my mental health becomes shit, I start procrastinating. So to prevent that, I need to have good mental health, and this is true for most people, I think. Now, after I'm done with that, I have a second deep work session. So same thing, 2 hours on YouTube once again. I follow an intermittent pattern of work. Okay, this helps me maintain productivity throughout the whole day. Now, I found that if I put all the hours of work at once, I do them worse and I'm way more likely to procrastinate because it overwhelms me. So I split up my work in an intermittent pattern. Now, next is time to work out. I do calisthenics because I do not want to be bothered traveling to the gym. Calisthenics has built my body and I see no reason to do anything else. My workout is about 1 hour with supersets. Next, I proceed to shower. I waste no time, by the way. My schedule is made in such a way that it does not allow for any time waste. If I waste time, I will miss a task. I have no time to waste. And this keeps me from procrastinating because I literally have no time to do that. Now next, after I'm done with the shower, I improve YouTube and eat. So the first meal of the day comes early afternoon. I do not like eating early. It kills productivity because your body starts digesting. So I always try to eat later. And also I research YouTube here and try to just learn something new so I can actually improve my video formula. Learning, I found, is just as important as doing the actual work, because if you want to make exponential progress instead of linear progress, you need to learn. Now, after I'm done with that, I simply start working on school, taking calls, chatting in the community, interacting with people. I also work on something random like, a coaching program or just learning or planning my business, tracking metrics. Any random work I need to get done gets done in this work session, and the time is undefined because I don't know how much work needs to get done, but I do it. Now, some days there is more work, others less. I finish off with another meal and also reading. So that's how I finish the day. Reading is essential if you actually want to understand life and come up with creative solutions to your problems in life in every area. Reading is goated. It gives you insane power. It opens up whole worlds for you. It's one of the most important habits I've ever done. Everything good I have in life, I owe to a book about first educating me about that and then me implementing the steps. Books save my life and they will save yours if you have a daily reading habit. Now, last part of my routine is the nighttime. That's when I track my schedule and I update my productivity system. I also keep a short journal about my day, writing down anything that I want. I will also plan the next day or stay with the same, routine if there are no differences. Now, also, of course, I wash my teeth at the end, and then basically I just go to sleep. Okay, let me give you a realistic productive schedule structure for long-term success. So these are some rules you need to follow that will allow for long-term success. Now, as always, this video is useless if you don't actually take action. I'm gonna give you some very specific concrete advice Absolutely useless, this advice, if you don't actually implement it in your life. Implement each step. Step 1, less is more. Guess what? It's a cliche, but it's true. Less is more in the long term. To be productive, you want to remove things, not add them. Productivity is focusing on the key tasks. That's it. So your schedule maybe have too much shit to do, which overwhelms you, and you end up procrastinating because of that. So maybe you need to make it more simple. You need to remove more stuff, remove the phones, remove the crazy amounts of work you try to do, remove a lot of stuff, and focus on the key things you need to get done and do them. That's it. That's productivity. So it's not about how much you do, but it's about the quality of work you actually do. You must eliminate the hustle mentality and realize that life actually needs a little bit of balance to work long term. The hustler is miserable. Sure, Elon Musk works very hard, but he's also divorced with like 3 wives and doesn't even look after his children. I'm not sure if being a hustler is the best way to go about life. You can do that if you want, I don't mind, but seriously, like, you have to consider that being a hustler long term is not a good idea. It's not a good idea. The thing is though, you can still work a ton while having an actual life. If you're actually focused for 8 to 10 hours a day on the most important tasks, you will beat people and you have the time to have a life. So if you work 6 days of the week for 8 to 12 hours, you have 1 free day, and then you have 4 to 8 hours free for the other days. And in that time you can have a life outside of work, but you can also get a shit ton of work done, because most people, when they say they work 8 hours, they actually work like 2 to 4 hours, and the rest of the time they're distracted. If you actually focus for 8 hours a day, you get much more done than most people. And if you focus on the important tasks, so right now I could be designing my logo or doing shit like that, but I'm making a video because that's the most important task. I'm not gonna do anything else. So if you're focused on the important tasks and you're actually focused for the full amount of time you give yourself to work, you'll do much more than most people. And this is another case of less is more. Now, the step 2 is to experiment. The only reason I know the best time to train, work, eat, sleep, anything is because of the non-stop experimentation. I've tried everything, bro. Believe me, over the last 5 years, I've been making schedules and I've tried absolutely everything to figure out the perfect times I do stuff at. I've tried working out literally late at night, early in the morning, first thing, and anywhere in between. I've tried to sleep like this. I've tried to work at any time. I've tried to eat in the morning, at night, fasting, everything. I've done everything. I've tried everything. And that's how I know when to work out and when to do stuff. You need to experiment to figure it out. Now, to experiment is simple. Make a schedule and then simply change one thing to improve it. So, for example, move the workout from nighttime to lunch. So that can be one improvement. So you make a schedule right now, or you already have a schedule, and once a week you change one thing, and this way you improve it slowly. Now the thing is, you can keep doing that until you find the perfect schedule. Spoiler alert, you will not find the perfect schedule. Circumstances, life goes, everything changes, so you'll never have the perfect schedule. But if you keep improving one thing every week, you're actually improving your work rate and you're getting more shit done, and you're figuring out through experimentation when is the perfect time for you to work out. There isn't a perfect universal time. It depends on yourself and your body and your preferences, in your circumstances. So you have to experiment. Now, however, understand that consistency is important. So the most important thing about a schedule, in fact, is that it's consistent, that it stays the same, because when you stay the same, your body sort of adjusts and it knows, okay, when this hour hits, it's time for work, so I'm gonna give him the hormones for work. And when this hour hits, it's time for sleep, so I'm gonna give him that. The body adjusts with consistency. So you don't want daily changes, only once a week and not too drastic. So you don't want to make daily changes to your schedule. I used to do that. I used to have this ADHD of every day changing my schedule and trying to be perfect. Terrible, because my schedule was so unstable and so inconsistent that my body could not adjust and I just could not follow my schedule. So you want to make a change only once a week. Don't change it every day. And when you make that change, don't let it be too drastic. So don't change the whole schedule and completely redesign everything, because you're just gonna ruin your consistency that you've built up. So definitely experiment and make a change every week, one change, not more. Now, step 3 is to start small, like this bug right here. Small and easy. Listen, the problem with most people is that they try too hard. And this is what I did. You know, I watched Elon Musk videos, I got motivated, and I thought that I should work for minimum 12 hours a day without rest. And that's what I should do. But guess what happened? I just couldn't do it. I couldn't follow it. It was impossible for me. You know, so the reality is that working is a skill and you're a beginner. So working, discipline, focus, productivity, avoiding procrastination. All of this is one skill which you practice and you are capable of doing more and more work as you practice it. But the thing is, it's like a skill. So I already gave the analogy with the bench press. You know, if somebody walks in the gym and tries to bench press 100 kilos, he's just gonna crush himself with the bar. So why are you trying to bench press 100 productivity? You're crushing yourself. So yeah, if you want to be consistent, you start small and easy. You need to make an easy schedule that you can follow and habitualize. Even my schedule is too difficult for you. My schedule has no social life, for example. That's way too difficult for most people. You know, I am sort of unbalanced myself. Way too difficult for most people. I don't have a rest day. I do this 7 days a week. Way too difficult for most people. That's only after years of discipline. And even my schedule is not Elon Musk level. It's like I'm halfway. I'm from a beginner to Elon Musk. I'm like in the middle. And it took me 5 years. It takes some time to develop this work rate. So if you want to follow your schedule, you need to actually enjoy. So you need to create something realistic as a beginner that you can enjoy. If you wake up every day and you're like, oh, I don't want to do this. If you wake up like this, guess what? You'll procrastinate. So you have to wake up and be like, you know what? I'm actually looking forward to today. And there will be difficult moments. But the important thing is to be able to overcome these moments. Now, if you want to get into the habit of working out, for example, literally start with 10 to 20 minutes a day. If you want to start studying, do the same. Start small, build up from there. This is how you build new habits. If you're a fat ass and you want to lose weight and you tell yourself, I'm going to work out for 1 hour every day, 6 days a week, it's not going to happen. 2 days ago, you were sitting on your sofa and you were eating Cheetos. So of course, you're not gonna start suddenly completely transform yourself and work out for 1 hour each day. Impossible. You're a beginner. Start small, aka 10 to 20 minutes a day of walking. Just not eating Cheetos and walking, you'll see some progress as a fat ass. And guess what? You build that habit. When you build that habit, what happens? It becomes easy. When it becomes easy, what can you do? You can build up and make it harder. And this is how you actually build a realistic schedule. So if you're not productive right now, you're trying too hard, make it easier. And here's my mission. I want to help every young man find his purpose and become disciplined in achieving it. I want every young man in this fucking world to find his purpose in life, his true purpose, and become extremely disciplined in pursuing it. If every young man does that, we can change the world. So join the community if you're up for that mission. If you want to find your purpose and become disciplined. Thanks for watching. Bye.